Whoa, I was not expecting that much of a response. Well, here it goes. So first off, you're gonna need to make a folder for all the stuff to be in, because every time Roblox updates the client, it will reset everything, so you'll have to drag it all back in again. But I'm gonna start off with the cursors first. So what you will want to do is make sure you have Roblox installed. Then on Windows 10, go to R in your selection, or search for it in your search on your Windows. And then if there's a folder for Roblox, open that, and then right click Roblox player and then open file location. Now that will take you to the start menu of where it is on Windows 10. That will then go to Roblox player again, open file location on that, and that will take you to the current Roblox client that's in use by Roblox at the moment. Then you would go to content, and then we're focusing on the sounds and textures folders. But first we're going to start with the cursor, so textures. Now the four that I changed that mostly show up around Roblox at the moment is the regular cursor. That's one. Then there's the selection cursor, which is the darker one. Then there's the default Roblox face, which you can change if you want. I wouldn't recommend changing any of the others because they don't really show up at all. But also change the shift lock cursor as well. So what you would want to do then is right click all of them. We open them with either Photoshop, GIMP, or something like Paint.net. Do not open it with Microsoft Paint, because otherwise when you go in game after saving it in MS Paint, this happens. So no, bad MS Paint, don't do that. Whereas in things like MS Paint, the transparency is there, so it'll be fine, and it won't bring up that giant white box. So once you've opened up all of the ones that you want to edit in MS Paint, for example, I'm going to show, you would start editing it. So I would zoom in, use the wand tool, select the black, and then hit the paint tool, throw it up to 10, put the hardness down, and then switch it to blue. And also turn off the anti-aliasing as well, and the clipping, selection clipping, turn that off to straight lines. And then hold shift and then magic tool to select all the white, and then just change that with the paint tool. Go like that. And then I would use the line tool, and then deselect that, zoom in again, bring the pen back down to 1 pixel, and then draw in the black outline. Like that. And then I would maybe draw an R in the middle, and then you would save that, and then set it as 32-bit if you want, and then press OK, and then that will go over and change inside the folder at the moment, and then you would just go through all of the rest of them. So for example, with the cursor, with the shift lock cursor, I would just Control A the whole thing, then use brightness and contrast, throw the brightness right down, use the sepia, and then change the hue, several times. And bring the saturation up as well. To bring it up to that to this blue effect, and then save that. And then again with the Roblox face, if you wanted to just change the color of the eyes and the mouth, for example. So just brightness and contrast again. Put that all the way up. Separate it. And then to change the eyes and mouth separately, just select the eyes and then hue it then. And then further saturation all the way up. And then repeat. And then do it again with the mouth and then save that. But also when you're changing the cursors, make sure not to change the tip of the cursor, because otherwise you won't be able to click in the correct spot, because the tip of the cursor is where the click pointed. And then once you've finished editing all of your cursors, just select them all with control. So arrow cursor, far cursor, face, and the mouse lock cursor for the shift lock. Then just right click or control C. Copy them, and then paste them into your folder that you have ready for, in case when Roblox updates the client and it resets it all. So when you have it in here in your folder, when the client resets, you can just select them all, copy them, go over to the current client after it's reset, and just paste it in, replace all the files, and then boom. It's all back. It's all back to normal, and then you'll be good to go for next time when it for next time when Roblox resets all the client textures. Right, that's the cursors done. Now on to the sound effects. So you would go back to content again. Then we're going into the sounds folder this time. Now these are all of the sounds that you can edit inside of Roblox at the moment, if they add any more, which I highly doubt they will, but still. So the first one is action falling, which is this wind sound. Then the footsteps plastic, which is just walking around, but it's defaultly set to a lower pitch than you hear it. The pitch changes depending on how fast you're going, so you'll need to keep that in mind if you're changing this one specifically. Then we have get up, which is the sound effect that plays after getting up from being tripped, which might not happen all the time, so I wouldn't recommend changing that one. Then we have action jump, which is just the jumping sound effect. Then we have action jump land, which is the sound you hear when you land from a jump. Then we have bass, which is a really old sound effect that I don't think is really used much anymore, but is the sound that's played when you use the trowel. Then impact, explosion, and snap I have never heard in Roblox before, so those go unused as far as I know. Then impact water is the sound you hear when you impact water from falling. And then action swim is the sound you'll hear when you're swimming. And finally, or as everybody knows it's the Roblox death sound. But in order to change these sound effects, you're going to need a sound effect that you want to change these to that is an MP3 file. Otherwise, if it's any other file, it won't work, and if it's not the same file name as well, it won't work either. So once you do have a sound effect that you want to overwrite it with, you would save that sound effect in your client changing folder with the name of the sound that you want to use it on. So for example, in my case with the Twitter post, action falling is jump is, for example, the Sonic Lost Worlds jump, and then jump land is in my case is just modern Sonic landing. So once you have all of your sound files and they're all the correct names that you will overwrite them with, just grab them out of your folder that you're saving the backup for when Roblox resets the client, and just copy them, go into the sounds folder and just paste it, replace it, and then boom, it's all done. Just make sure that you keep this folder with all of your client changes, because as soon as Roblox updates, the client will reset all of the sounds and cursors that you have changed. Now I hope that helped you all customize all your cursors and sounds. In the meantime though, I'm gonna go over here and listen to the beautiful seagull mining. Mine!